Hey everybody, welcome to SETTA'S Place tutorial for this crossbody bag. I use it as a travel bag for quick access to your ID and credit cards or cash, and also for your phone. I have a spot on the back for your phone to go in. And on the inside, I also put a little pocket. There you can put your ID and cash and things like that. And then the center is just an open spot. There's the little pocket. You have your flap, and you can add a button. All right, so this is what we're going to be making today. I also added a strap that I had from another purse for the handles. But for today's tutorial, I will be making a strap. So you can do either way. If you have handles, you can add them like I did, or we can crochet it. Okay, so we're going to get started. I will be making a Star Trek themed crossbody bag. So I'm going to be using different colors, but you can make yours solid or variegated as this one. So you can make it any color you want. The size, it can be any size you want it. The smaller yarn you have, the smaller it's going to be. The larger the yarn, the bigger it's going to be. I'm going to measure this so you can see the size. It's about 8.5 wide and about 8 inches high. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to show you the yarns I'm going to be using for my Star Trek themed bag. I'm going to be using red. I'm using cotton, peaches and cream in the red, in the yellow, which is gold. Yeah, it's red. And I have a little bit of my blue left, which is royal blue color. And I have this sparkly, now this is not cotton. This is like a sparkly, you know, it represents stars and space. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start with my red yarn, and we're going to start from the bottom up. I'm using a 5mm hook, so you could use the hook that is equivalent for your yarn. I like using a 5mm with this cotton yarn. Start with a slip knot. And you're just going to make a chain the width that you want your bag to be. Okay, also I wanted to show you, I'm making my chain about the same as the one I already made, but your bag will be a little bit wider than your original chain because we're going to do some increases on the end, and so it's going to come out a little. So whatever size of the chain you make, you know that your bag is going to be slightly bigger because of our increases. Okay, so now we are going to work across our chain on the top loop, because we're going to work on one side of the chain and then come around and work on the other side. So let's do a single crochet in this second stitch from your hook. And you're going to do single crochet all the way across. Now you can put a stitch marker in this very first stitch that you did. That way you know where you start when you come back around. So let's get a stitch marker. Mark that very first stitch that you made. So you're going to work a single crochet all the way across the top until you get to your last stitch. Okay, I made it to my last stitch. I have that one already in there. I need to add 5 more single crochets into this last stitch. So I have a total of 6. So that's 2, 3, and it's going to start going around the corner. 4 and 5. Oops. Okay, so there's a total of 6 stitches in that last single crochet. Now we're working on the other side of our chain, right across top here. And I'm gonna work over my tail. In this first stitch, we're gonna start putting our single crochets and working our way across. Okay, you're gonna keep doing your single crochet all the way across until you get to your stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do when we get there. Okay, I made it to the end. I have one more stitch to go, and in that last stitch, these 2 stitches are already in that space. You know how we did 6 down here? But these 2 are already inside of this last stitch. So we only need to add 4 more. So that'll be a total of 6. So here, this last stitch, we do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then this one is 5 and this one is 6. Because they're all inside of this one right here. So now that matches, both ends match. Okay, so now you're going to slip stitch to the marked stitch. And there you go. Okay, so this is the bottom of our bag. Now we're going to work in the round, just keep going around and around, and it's going to build up on both sides as you go. I'm going to stay with this color for a couple of rounds, and then I'm going to switch my color out. But you can, keep the one solid color, or if you want to change colors, you can do that also. So I'm going to do chain 1, and we're going to single crochet back into that same stitch. And you can mark it if you want to. To make the edges have a little more space for the bottom of your bag, I'm gonna add another single crochet into that same space. So I'm going to be increasing on the outsides of each side of the bag. So there's 2 in this one. Then 1 single crochet all the way across. Okay, I made it almost to the end. Now I'm in the 6 single crochets we did all on this corner. You can see them right here. So this very first one, put a single crochet in. And the next one, we're going to put 2 single crochets. The one on the top here, 1 single crochet. The next one, 2 single crochets. The next one is just 1 single crochet. So that gave our corner some width to it. And then 1 single crochet all the way until you get to the end, right before you started this 6 in this corner. All right, you do that, and I'll catch up with you when you get to the end. All right, I made it to the end. I'm going to single crochet, 1 single crochet. Then the next stitch, you're going to put 2, which is your increase. And then 1 on this top stitch right here. Now this one right here is a slip stitch. This is not a stitch. We're going to slip stitch into our marked stitch. And you can pull it tight to close it up. Okay, so I am going to change color, but if you're making yours, you know, solid or a different variation of colors, you do what you need to do to make for your bag. But I'm going to change my color. I'm going to take the slip stitch out so I can change to my gold. Start my slip stitch again and just pull my new color through and pull the colors tight together. So chain 1, and now we're just going to do single crochets all the way around in every stitch. Go back in the same stitch you just came out of, single crochet, and you can mark this stitch if you want to keep track of the beginning of your rounds. All right, so I'm gonna go all the way around in every stitch, make a single crochet till I get back to my marker, and it should start curling in like this, like a little boat. All right, I'll catch up with you when we get back over here. Okay, I made it back around to the stitch marker. I'm going to slip stitch into that marked stitch. Chain 1, then single crochet back into that same stitch. You can mark it again. And then continue doing that all the way around. In every single crochet, put a single crochet until you get it to the height that you would like yours to be. Mine was in the beginning, I think I said 8 inches high, so you could keep going until from the bottom up to the top it's 8 inches to match my other bag, or whatever height that you would like yours to be. It's going to start, like I said, it's going to start turning it up, so you have like a little boat, and you're going to go around and around until you reach the height that you want. I'll catch up with you when you have got that done. Okay, I made it to my desired height of my bag, and on my last stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch to this the first stitch we started with, but I'm going to change color. So I'm gonna stop right there and add my other color. If you are using the same color, you do not need to do this part. I'm just starting another color. And then chain 1. Okay, so now we're going to do the back flap that's going to flap over. So now we're only going to be working back and forth this way, but we're going to be having some decreases so we can get that shape that we are wanting. So we're starting right here with that. We have a chain 1, so single crochet back into the same stitch, and then single crochet across. Now you can go ahead and you fold it in half. You can mark the stitch so you know where to stop, or you can count and make it exactly even, however you feel. But I just usually go like squeeze it and see the middle. That's where we need to stop. So let's do our single crochets across, and I'll see you when you get there. Okay, I made it to where I want to stop. So we're going to chain 1 and then turn. And we're going to start decreasing. So to where we're just going to skip this very first stitch. We're not going to do anything into this one right here. We're going to go into the next one and do a single crochet. Now see how that brings it in. Then you're going to do your single crochets all the way across, and then you stop when we get to the one before the last. So you have 2 stitches left. Stop there. Okay, I made it to the end. And really there's only this one. It looks like there's 2 stitches, but this is just your chain 1. So we're not going to mess with this chain 1. We're just going to put that single crochet in the last actual stitch. And this chain 1 or turning chain, we're not going to mess with that. We're going to leave it alone. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And then the same thing, we're going to skip this very first stitch and start our single crochet in the next. And that's how we're going to do our decreases. It's just by skipping that very first stitch. So single crochet across. And then when you get here, you do not work into this turning chain. You just stop right here on this very last stitch and do not work into this. So you can put a stitch marker there if you like to make sure you know to stop here. All right, I'll see you when I get there. Okay, I made it to the last stitch. I did not go into this one. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to repeat that row over and over again, where you do not go in this very first stitch, you go into the next. And when you get over here, you do not go into this turning chain or chain 1. And it's going to start going in like this. So let me show you. So we're going to have this angled like a triangle right here. And then you can keep doing that, repeating that until you get it down as far as you like. And we're going to stop when we get here to make our buttonhole. So you continue until you get about halfway, almost halfway. I'll come back and I'll let you know how many rows I did before we need to make our buttonhole. My yarn is a little thinner that I'm using for this, so it might take more rows than it did for this one. So you have to kind of judge where you want your buttonhole to be. So your number might be different, but I'll let you know what mine is. For this one, how many rows did I have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, for this one, it was 14 rows to get right here before the buttonhole. And I'll let you know how many rows it takes me for this one to get it to where I need it for this size. All right, I'll see you when you get back. Remember, keep doing the decreases on the side, which is just not doing the first stitch and not working in the last. All right, I'll see you when you get that. Okay, I made it to where I want to start my buttonhole row, and I did 12 rows, and it's going to end up about right here. A few more rows to go, so it'll be about right here. So you can see where it will land. So anyway, now that we've got to this point, I'm gonna switch colors again because I'm doing mine in the Star Trek color and themes. But like I said, if you're solid or variegated, you just keep going. But I'm gonna change my color now. I'm going to be using my sparkly yarn for this part. So I'm going to attach it on. I'm not going to work over my tail because it'll be on the outside and you'll be able to see it. Okay, so now chain 1 and turn. Now, you have to decide where you want your buttonhole, which could be right in the middle. You can count even amount of stitches across, and then I'm going to leave 4 unworked stitches right in the middle. And that's the size button, the standard size button, like for the other one I made. So if you want to make your buttonhole bigger, and then when you get done, you could always go back and sew it 1 or 2 stitches shut if it's too big, because you'd rather have it too big rather than too small. But that you can judge how big your button is. If it's a small button, then you just leave like 3. If it's a bigger button, 4 or 5, depending on, you know, the size. You can always adjust it if you make it too big. So now I'm gonna work across, but this time I'm not going to do the decrease because I want it to stay this size the rest of the way. I want it to, I don't want it to get any smaller, like in the triangle form. I want it to stay this width. So I'm going to work into the very first stitch. Okay. So I am going to push my tails over up to the top and work under this so I can hide that the where it joined like this. It'll make it hide the join a little bit better. So that's my first single crochet. You see it hid it a little bit better. And then I'm gonna do single crochet across. I'm not going to work over the tail though. Okay, then I'm going to stop where I want my buttonhole to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do one more. That's 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That leaves 3 in the middle. So right here is where I need to stop. Yeah, I'll do 3 on this one. So you got to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then jump over to where this marked stitch is. Do another single crochet. See, there's your buttonhole. Like I say, if you need to leave it bigger, you can, because you can always sew it shut if it's too big. It's hard to see the black yarn on this background, but it's just single crochets to the end. And this time we're going to go into that turning chain or chain 1 right there at the end. So it's nice and straight. And there's your buttonhole. Okay, so now you're going to chain 1 and turn. And then you're going to work in every stitch across, including that very first one. All right, I'll see you when you get back over here. Now, when you get to the buttonhole, you can work inside the hole or you can work into the stitches. It's up to you. But I'm going to work into, I'm just going to work into the hole and do my 3 single crochets. But you can do either way that you want to. And then go on to the next one. And do that until you get to the end. Okay, there's the buttonhole. Then chain 1 and turn again. Now I want to end on the outside, where the part that will be seen. So when you fold it, you know, this is the side, this is the good side. So I want to end my row on this side. Now you can put as many rows here as you want, if you want it thicker or thinner, however you decide you want it. So I'm gonna do another row and see if I like it. If not, I'll do another 2 rows. Just depends on how it looks, you know, all together. So I'll be, when I come back, I will tell you how many rows I did. Okay, I'm back. I decided, this is only the one row where I left you on. That's where I'm at. I decided I'm gonna leave it like this because I'm going to work around the edge of this. Let me turn it this way so you can see better. I'm working on the edge. Then I'm gonna go around the top on this inside here. Come back up. Then I'm gonna go across one more time and meet back over here. So that's gonna give me another row, and that's all I want. So I'm going to, so if you wanna do this around yours, you can. If not, you can just stop right here, you know, and cut your yarn and sew in your tails. But if you don't go around the edge like me, you just keep going. So let me, so I'm gonna chain one, and then I'm just gonna turn or work like this and work around on the side. I'm gonna work down the side and then on to this one right here on the inside until I get back to where I started. All right, I'll see ya. Now these sides don't have actual stitches, so you just do it nice and even as best as you can. And if you like the way this looks, like these little notches, it can be like a little feature if you like it. If not, you can work over it. So I chained one, so I'm gonna do one single crochet, chain one single crochet, back into the same spot. Then I'm gonna find the next spot, single crochet, chain one, single crochet back into the same spot. Then find another, let's see, another spot, single crochet, chain one, single crochet back into the same spot. And that's giving a little bit of like a bumpy edge. And in the black, you can't see it there as well, but once it gets finished, you'll see that it'll look what it's going to look like. So we find another spot, we'll just go in here, single crochet, chain one, single crochet back into the same spot. So that is how it is looking. So I'm gonna do that all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you when I get it done. Okay, I made it to the first edge before I go on the inside. And to make it not so bulky, right here, so right there where it connects, we're going to do a slip stitch to get over here. And then you can either start the same pattern, or you can just do regular single crochets across here. This depends on, you know, how decorative you want it, or however you decide to do it. I'm going to do regular single crochet, because when you shut it, if you put that extra little bump there, it might not close very well. So let's just do regular single crochets across. And then you make sure you shut it and see how it looks, to see if that's what you like. Yeah, I think that looks fine. All right, so I'm gonna do single crochets till I get here, slip stitch to change into this to the top part, which is mine's a different color. Then I'm gonna go back doing the single crochet, chain one, single crochet in the same spot. All right, I'll see you when I get back up here. Okay, I made it back to where I started, but I want to go all the way across to make this little band here a little bit thicker. So I want to single crochet, and then go into the top of that stitch and just do single crochets across. And then let's see, I have one more. Then I'm gonna slip stitch into the last stitch and fasten off. Okay, so let's turn it around and see how it's looking. I need to sew in all my ends, of course. I think it looks very cute. Okay, so on this one, I didn't do the single crochet. On here, I left the little bumpies. So, like I said, and then I didn't go, you know, on the inside it extra. So it depends on, you know, you can leave it like that, or you could do around the edge like I did on this one. Okay, so I'm gonna sew on these ends. So this portion is complete. So now we have to make a pocket for the back, like this one, where I put my cell phone. And so you can make this any size you want. If you want, you can measure it by your size of your actual phone, or you could just make it a pocket to put things in. I'm going to be using the sparkly yarn to make the pocket. That way, it, you know, there's a little bit right here, and so they'll be on the back. Right here. So I'm going to start. It's going to be just a simple single crochet back and forth. I'm going to chain a few, and then I'm going to put it. You can measure it to your actual phone and make it bigger than your phone, so it'll have plenty of room to fit in there, but not too loose where it'll just fall out. And my phone is recording. I'm using it to record, so I can't measure it. So I'm gonna use my the one I had before, and I'm just gonna measure it to that. So I need a few more. Okay, so I'm gonna go about that big for my phone. I made it 6 inches tall in height. So, and my chain, for me, my chain is about 3 3¼ in width, but like I said, you do it how big you want yours. And I just do the single crochet across, and so that's all it is, the single crochets in every stitch. And then you chain 1 and turn, and single crochet back across. And you do that until it reaches the height that you need yours to be. And then when you get done with that, I'll come back and we will attach it. All right, I will see you when you get done with this your pocket and to the height we need it. But also what you also can do, and until we get back, is the inside pocket. It's the same thing, same concept. You make it as big as you want it. Now I'm not gonna make mine this wide for the inside, but you do your chain however big you want your inside pocket to be. And it's going to be single crochets, just like before. And on this one, let me check to see how many. I made this pocket like this, and I went this way. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rows. And I had it going this way. It doesn't matter, you can do it either way you like. But so you do 2 of those. You do the one for the back, and you do 1 for the inside, and then when you come back, we can attach them. All right, I'll see you when you get done. Okay, I'm back, and I finished my pockets. I went ahead and attached it all the way around the edge. Now mine's a little crooked. You do better. So anywho, I also went around all the way around the whole piece, because it was a little short this way. The width was just a little bit not as wide as I needed. So I went all the way around with the single crochet, 2 single crochets in each corner, and it gave it just a little more width. So then my phone fit down in there, and I just sewed it down. And I also did the inside pocket the same way. I went around all the way around the edge to give it a little bit more width. Once I got it made, it was a little short, so like I said, I made it a little wider and attached it. So that is how this turned out so far. Let me back out a little bit. So now, this is the basic construction of your little travel bag. Now you get your button, and you need to attach your button to this part, so when you go down, it will stay closed. Now I do not have a button already picked out, so I'm gonna put this, I have a little pin, a Star Trek pin of Lahura. These Trekkies know who she is. And I'm just gonna put it there just so it symbolizes a pin, a button. Isn't that adorable? I wish I could find a button like this and yeah, and use it like that. But anyway, that just is where the button's gonna go, right there. So now the strap. As I said before, you can put a purchased strap on it and attach it on the corners like the other bag I showed you, or you can crochet it, which I am going to do, make a very simple crochet strap. I'm using 2 strands of the sparkly yarn, and I'm just going to make a chain. And with being double stranded, it makes it look a little bit like a braid. And you just make it the length that you want it to be. See, it looks kind of like a braid because it's nice and thick. Or you can make an actual I-cord, you know, just whatever you prefer. And then we're going to attach these to the corners. I mean, on the, then we're going to, when I'm finished the size I want, I'm going to attach it to the side over here. And then it will be our strap. If you want it to be a crossbody bag, then you need to make it long enough, you know, to fit you. I would just keep on going and then attach one side to the bag, but don't cut your yarn. Test it out to see how long it is, and if you need more, just crochet more. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll catch back up with you when I'm finished and show you my finished bag. Okay, I made it to the end. Now I'm going to cut my yarn, leave enough to be able to sew it onto the bag. Okay, so now, this is the length of mine. I'm going to attach, let me take this off. Okay, get it folded to where it's going to be like right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach mine right at the top where this color is, so it looks like it's a continuation of this. So I'm going to attach mine right here. You can attach yours to the side or to the back, or however you want to do it. And if for some reason I don't like it, like once I get it there, I don't like it, then I can always move it to the back or something like that. So let me get that done and we'll see how it looks. Okay, I think that's going to work. Let's go ahead and attach it. Now I'm going to go back into the strap itself and reinforce it a little bit. That way it will stay in the upright position. And just go through it a few times till it's good and stabilized. Okay, now I'm gonna go do the other side, and I'll catch up with you, and I'll show you how the ending looks. All right, I have finished. This is how it turned out. Here's the strap, and that is my Star Trek themed little bag. But like I said, if yours is a solid color or you have your own variegated, you could use it for anything that you choose to use it for. Now for you Trekkies, if you are still here, I wanted to show you, I have the rest of the Enterprise crew. Aren't these adorable? I wish I could exchange out the pins if they were buttons or, you know, something like that. And I also have Captain Picard from the Next Generations. I am a Trekkie through and through. All right. I guess I will talk to you all later, and have a blessed day.